So when I first started my YouTube journey, I originally said in my first video, which is the only one I posted outside of a short, that this is a lot of work and we were going to have some wonderful, fabulous content. We will. I even talked about the garland back there. It's still there. It's not going away. What I have learned as a new person to a new business to YouTube is those mishaps, those things that normally wouldn't probably bother me, they bother me. I had started on a soap within my brand new 25-pound, one of my brand new 25-pound molds. And I had promised myself I wasn't going to go to another one until I got that one squared away. Well, it's still setting. I think it's going to turn out pretty, but it's still setting. But until then, there are several things that I had to I'm starting to work on because, no, we don't need a fancy phone. No, we don't need a fancy camera. No, we don't need certain fancy things. But we do, when you put yourself out here on YouTube, you've got to have some of your things in order. So that's what I've been working towards. And so this time, this video is going to show, once again, a myriad of things, but it's going to show me slowly working towards organizing some stuff while I'm still working on my businesses. So because I'm in formulation period, I'm mixing up the butters and the oils for the soap that I am currently working on right now. You are going to see me with a hairnet on. Naturally, it's for sanitary purposes, but can't afford to have hair in my soap. Also, you see me in long sleeves. You're not going to see me in my fancy duds right now because I am working with lye, I'm working with oils, I'm working with butter. And you just don't want to have anything on that you wouldn't feel comfortable. You're turning out, honestly, being a mess because you're going to get lye on yourself sometimes. And in this particular time frame, over a period of time, I've burnt myself sometimes by not having long sleeves on. So you can be rest assured that, I really don't care what soap I make. I am always going to have shea butter mixed into the base of the other oils. I just believe that shea butter is one of the most nourishing and it's really good for the skin and it marries well with the other oils. It's melted down right now, but because I don't want to take away from its natural properties, you have to stir it and kind of make sure that everything is blended well when you melt the butter. I am purposefully showing this particular portion of the oils. I think it's really important to understand all oils and butters do not have the same colors. And when mixed together, they take on a different form and they can go from light to dark. And dark is really important when you're trying to make sure that you get the right color. Okay, so because my container of oils is so large, I have immersion blenders, but the shaft on the immersion blender is not as long as this hack that I'm about to use. So I was watching, I think it was Instagram or TikTok, either one. And there was a gentleman that was mixing up a batch of hair care products for his company. What he did was he took his drill and he went and got one of those paint mixer drill bits. Now, I purchased 2 of them. You probably saw earlier, I was coming up out of Ace hardware store. This video is not sponsored by anybody. I was just saying where I got it from. But I figured if it's going to work for him and his hair care products, it might work for me in the soap. And so I could probably have gone and purchased one of the immersion blenders with one of the long shafts. But let's be honest, I really didn't want to spend $379 to about $800 on it right now. And as I mentioned in my last video, I am trying to scale my business. So if this is going to do the same job with a less expensive cost, then this is what I'm going to try to do. Now, I just have just a little regular little drill that fits me and my little hands here. And when I went into the store and when I went into Ace Hardware store and I picked up this paint mixer, this one and the other one that I got, I asked the gentleman that worked there if he thought that it would probably work with soaps, and he said it probably will. So I'm gonna try it. Because I can't stand for stuff to be on my gloves because it starts to get, no matter what, we are dealing with oils and butters and all sorts of other things. And when I'm working, I can't stand for my gloves to get a little too slippery. I'm going to do one or two things. I'm going to keep going through them, or I'm going to take some alcohol, clean my gloves, and keep going. Now, I'll be honest with you, I go through a lot of gloves too, but while I am dealing with equipment, I don't want the slipperiness of the oils to cause me to have an accident and hurt myself, because that wouldn't be cool either, would it? Okay, here's the soap that I was telling you about at the beginning that it's taking a while to set. And let's be gentle with me now, because this is the first time that I have ever made a 25 batch of soap in one mold at one time. But what I'm doing right now is called a dirty pour. And I'm just taking the colors that I want it to be and adding it. And I think that it's really pretty. And I think that whenever it decides it wants to set, I think it's going to be gorgeous. But it is not going to be ready, unfortunately, as I had hoped by the end of this particular video. One of the reasons is because I was using a fragrance oil in there. I really was scared about the fragrance oil and probably increasing the lye to solution ratio. And I got scared because in the past I have had fragrance oils and I've had lye and it turned rancid on me. And y'all, if you don't know, 25 pounds of soap, 10, 15, 5, whatever amount of soap, the oils, the butters, the ingredients are expensive. And I was just afraid that I was going to find myself in a expensive mess that I couldn't do anything with. And the first time I had one of these situations to happen, I threw it completely in the garbage. And right now, I would prefer for it to take whatever time it decides it wants to take, and it will show up in a future video. But for this particular video, this fabulous bucket of gorgeousness is not ready to be cut within a normal 24, 48 hours, only because I did not elect to go with at least a 2-to-1 ratio or something a little more to make sure that it would, form. I was just scared. Today has been an absolute day of trying to organize some of my equipment, get myself organized as well, because within my studio, I'm not going to do a tour right now because it's like stuff is everywhere. I mean, if you could just tell from like the back of me, it's just things are everywhere. But in trying to get organized, I am really trying to think about how I am running my business and how I need things to be set up for me to be able to move about freely, which makes it easier to be more productive and on track with what I need to do. I'm putting together some shelves that I got from Target, and I found that putting them in the shelf on this plastic helps me move a little better. I'm not real savvy at doing this, but as I am putting it together, this is like the first one, and I kind of got the hack for the other two of them. But in order to organize this studio and get it going the way I wanted to, I've got to get these shelves in, and I'll probably find myself ordering or buying some more. But I'm starting to realize, you know what, it's coming together really well. This is my frame, and I'm going to be putting the back on it. I'm coming along pretty good. I'm proud of myself. I'm not used to doing all this, but I'm envisioning how I want my studio to look. And so in order for me to achieve that goal, I know I can hire other people to do this or bring somebody else in, but it's on my mind, and it's what I want to do, and it's what I like right now. And believe it or not, this is what I did within 2.5 to 3 hours. I'm happy. So I've got this double file cabinet, a Han, H-O-N, Han file cabinet it was a cream color, but I painted it black to go along with everything else. So I'm going to be transporting it from this side to the other side. And so this is like the first coat of paint that I put on it. And I'm going to put another one on here. But as you can see, I've got a whole lot going on, and a whole lot and a whole lot. So I'm looking for storage, and I went to Crafter's Heaven, which is Dollar Tree, and I found these fabulous acrylic boxes, which are going to go along with another component that I'll reveal later on. But while I was in there, I found also like these acrylic sheets, and I was like, I can't wait to do something with these. Just hang on and wait and see. Thank you for tuning in with us, and until next time, be safe.